so that brings us to public comment. And I'm going to take a moment here. It's my first meeting as chair of this committee, and I would like to make sure that we are level set with regard to what the rules are around public comment. So with my colleagues' forbearance, I'm going to read them into the record. The board welcomes public comment as an important part of the public process. Comments received are considered by the board in its deliberations. Generally, the amount of time to speak is limited to 2 minutes, and people will be called from a sign-up sheet. And I want to stress that public comment is acceptable at this committee on items that are on the agenda for final action or special topics that are announced as appropriate for public comment. If you have comments on other topics, there is a general comment form that can be filled out and submitted to the board. Speakers should not use personal attacks or use this forum for campaigning purposes, and you'll be invited up individually. For your information, the items that are appropriate for public comment today are the approval of our December 14th, 2017 meeting minutes, a motion authorizing the Chief Executive Officer to execute a task order with WashDOT for the I-405 Bus Rapid Transit project, and a motion authorizing the Chief Executive Officer to execute a contract for the development services for the SR 522, SR 523 Bus Rapid Transit project. Not on the agenda today: general problems with government, the cost of transit, or the rules for public comment. So I'm going to call people up, and if you have something to say on the topics on the agenda today, I invite you to say it, but we're not going to hear general testimony on whatever other issues people want to talk about. So we'll go, see how it goes. The first person signed up to speak is Joe Kunzler. Welcome, Joe.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Thank you about the rules.
Thank you.
I have a very deep concern in general about B and C, and I'm going to keep this comment very short and to the point, as per your instructions, which I appreciate and have encouraged board members to start having. I am somewhat concerned about this agency constantly running to consultants. I have a high opinion of all staff of Sound Transit. I think Sound Transit is the greatest agency ever because we have to accomplish so much. I just wonder, why do we need all these consultants? I mean, should I apply to be a consultant? So I just really want you to ask in items B and C to why you need a consultant when there's Wikipedia and Google and all of that. One last thing, I'm going to request in a future agenda item that we plan the Justin Farrell Plaza outside with a Karen Kitsis and Rick Elford statue.
Please bring it back.
And I'm not going to bring it back because I'm done. And thank you so much. I hope that was a great first speech for you. Yeah! Go Sound Transit!
Okay, thank you. Our second speaker signed up to, a second person signed up to speak is Mr. Paul W. Locke.
I'm Paul W. Locke. The item 23. The light rail system. You can't afford it. You've got to build a system that's operated like an elevator.
Mr. Locke, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Operators.
Mr. Locke, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that item is not on for final action today. The bus rapid transit items are.
It's on there. You're listing it on the...
But it's not on for final action, and the rules of the committee are that we allow public comment on items for final action. You are welcome to come and speak to that.
You're in a position, I know. They doubled, tripled my taxes on my home.
There's nothing funny out.
Okay, Mr. Kunzler, please let him, he has the floor.
We are, the federal government doesn't have it either. They showed the railroad that they own. It's a wavy line.
Mr. Locke, if you can speak to one of the topics, I'm asking you to please do so. If not, then we can move on to the next speaker.
Too much. You have to build one with no operators. The people who are around in 23 to pay for this thing and to, it's going to be interesting. We are not making it. We are not making it. You're borrowing all this money, I guess from the federal government. I don't know who other investor would never pay for this.
Okay, Mr. Locke. I'm being a little loose here today, but I'm going to call people out of order at the next meeting. We're going to speak to items on the agenda. Mr. Alex Zimmerman, it's your turn, and I ask you to please speak to an item on the agenda. We've all heard your stump speech.
Absolutely.
Speak to an item on the agenda.
I speak only about agenda. Hi, my Dory W. Führer, a Nazi social democratic mafia with progressive Gestapo principle. My name Alex Zimmerman, and I'm president of Stand Up America. You are a Nazi, you are a fascist, you are draconian Gestapo principle. So about agenda, yeah, nice. Agenda number A, B, C. How many $1 million we need spend for these crooks who steal from us $1 billion and $1 billion for last year? How many? How many corporations involved in this idiotic business, and who controls this corporation? And I talk to you many times. We don't have an auditor office. This a mafia, a bandita who steal billions from us.
Mr. Zimmerman,
no,
speak
I'm
to an
talking
item on the
about agenda, about this $1 million, what is we pay for corporation. $2 million, $6 million. This exactly here. So I told you many times, we cannot pay to these crooks so big money. It's exactly what has happened. No one project what is half the sound transist is in time money. It's all crooks stealing money. I'm business consultant. I guarantee you we can cut everything minimum by 30%. And right now, Olympia approved, so you steal from us a couple $1 billion. So by definition, you're all criminal, you're all bandita. Your place supposed to be
Mr.
in
Zimmerman,
jail.
now
It's
you're doing
exactly
personal
what's
attacks,
happened.
and we're not gonna have
No, with
that.
your approve, you're stealing money. You transfer this money to corporations. This $1 million who in agenda. And I told you many times, where is the auditor office? Where is the auditor office cut for 30 or 50%? How we can pay $1,000 per hour? 50% people low income right now, don't have food. If we pay $1,000 per hour, I'm a business consultant. I give advice to many companies in my life. I know this all fake. It's all criminal. You're supposed to be investigate this. Stand up, America. We need to clean this dirty chamber from this mafia who steal billion and billion from us, from this criminal. Thank you very much.
Okay, your objection to the contracts for the BRT is noted. Ms. Marguerite Bouchard.
Yes, welcome. My name is Marguerite Bouchard, and welcome to another day in history of Black History Month. I didn't come here to talk about Black history specifically, but I am concerned about the display of how this conduct. You're saying that there's cards to fill out. I wrote a letter. I followed all the protocol that is asked of me with no response whatsoever. And I don't understand the extremism that is taking place in this room at said time. I don't like it. It's not professional, and it needs to be dealt with expeditiously.
I couldn't agree more. Can you please speak to an item on the agenda?
Yeah,
Ms.
that's
Bouchard?
the agenda. I'm the item on the agenda. When I come down here and I use my free speech up under the Constitution of the United States of America and to the Republic, I don't know if it's standing right now. It could be in the doggone toilet bowl. But that's what I'm saying. When I come down here, it makes me very uncomfortable as a constituent riding Sound Transit and have to follow this piece of paper when that has nothing to do with my free speech. I go to Brereton, I go to Renton.
Ms.
They
Bouchard,
don't care about
that's-
what we have to say. Just say what's
Ms.
on your heart
Bouchard, that's
and your
what this
mind.
item on the agenda is for. At this committee, the item on the agenda is to give us any input into the decisions we are
Right, you
making
want
today.
feedback, but I'm saying that
About the decisions we are making
I've tried to make
today.
decisions as to what is going on in this room when I come down here, and I followed
The decisions we are
every
making
major
today are
protocol, and I'm
Minutes
still
and
having
contracts for bus
problems.
rapid transit. Can you speak to those
I
items?
know that, but I'm saying to you, you need to look into the Constitution as it relates to a person's free speech and stop trying to rob us of having a free speech, a conversation with the board members and making it like helter-skelter down here.
So I just want to make it clear, we're not going to have this. We're not going to have people coming and giving their stump speeches over. Joe, please, I don't want outbursts from the audience by anybody, and we're not going to have outbursts from the audience or stump speeches that people give over and over and over again that bear no relation to the work we're doing today. And so we will, at the next meeting, if we have this, I'm going to ask people to be escorted from the room. We're going to have control over our meetings. Thank you. All right, moving on.